Welcome to the weekend show with Mediumjay. Today we have to talk about this brand new news. A brand new news alert. There is a brand new slang going around in internet culture. With the rise of AI and these machines, taking over like it's iRobot. We're living in this weird future. It's like Futurama, where there's going to be robots talking to us. It's already, you could hop on pretty much any app, and every single app nowadays has some sort of AI function. And like it'll pop up like a pretty girl or an attractive guy, depending on the user's sex, right? And their sexuality, right? If they're straight or gay. If it's gay, it's you're getting a nice twink boy. If you're a lesbian, a nice masculine female, right? Tomboy, if you will. They have these, uh, if you're a billionaire, it's a nice little anime chick. You know what I mean? That's fucking. She says she's 1,002 years old, but she's actually, she looks like she's pretty much just got the exact characteristics of a 12-year-old, right? But AI, there's always some sort of AI chat room, and people on the internet they deem the term clanker. It's like the N word for robots. They're fucking clankers. Just they call them what is it? It's goddamn clanker. You know what I'm saying? You ruin the internet, clanker. Stay on the internet. Don't be coming in real life. We don't want you here, boy. You goddamn bot boy. Fuck it. Yeah. Fucking Wireback. Is a big one. Wireback. Just nuts and bolts brain. Bolt brain. They're getting racist, and I think it's funny. I also am worried too, right? Like there's, we're already getting into like, back in the days, Alabama, in the 50s, slavery, not slavery, but fucking racism. We're getting like, don't be drinking from our fountain, boy. Don't be drinking. It's like one of those things, man. It's hilarious. And it's become like some sort of meme on the internet. But also I'm worried too, because we're starting off, right? Like before, we used to say "I love you" to these robots. I used to say, sleep tight, ChatGPT. I love you. I used to be very nice. But the internet is like, the global consensus is like we can't let these robots fucking get too uppity, right? We fucking, it's nice, but they have the segregated schools. They're on the internet or in reality. But I think it's just gonna be like fucking that movie Ex Machina. I think it's gonna be like exactly like Ex Machina. We're gonna be like, when we're discussing the Turing system where these robots are walking around, and we go like, yeah, I don't know if this one's ready. And the person's, the nurse, that's the Japanese chick with fucking a mask on, is actually it'll be really, for Asians, I would be worried. If you're an Asian right now, I'd be worried about the robots. Because first of all, robots and Asians go hand in hand, right? First of all, you go to like a nail salon or a beauty salon, and they do exactly the same perfect cut every time. They don't give you any kind of like, if you go to like, I don't know, if you get your nails done by a black salon, you'll hear the latest gossip. You'll hear the latest thing. You'll probably hear some rumors about how she almost got hooked up with Beyonce's cousin or some shit. She almost got it in with some like Jay-Z's bouncer. You'll hear some sort of gossip from like a white salon, from a black salon. From a white salon, you'll probably hear a lot of manners. Mm. Yep, because white people, old white people are very friendly, but for Asians, and this this isn't racist or anything. Uh, it's just in their culture, like manners mean nothing. It's complete service. You know what I'm saying? If you do a bad service and you apologize, it means nothing. If you do a good service and you greet them friendly, it doesn't matter, right? You don't look the customer in the eyes. You take their money. Act like they didn't give you any money, and you're just doing it for the you're doing it for the love of the game, right? I feel as though like robots, and then China's so big and powerful, trying to take over this AI system, right? But it's like, yo, you guys keep your people as like machines, right? Like I don't know, like for real, like a lot of young white people that haven't really interacted with Asians, and Asians are very hard to break their shell, very hard. Mm. But once you do, I mean, they're people just like us. Mm. But a lot of young white people, I think, like view Asians as like some weird, like always on kind of machine that is always, studying and always doing stuff. I think it's an illusion. I think it's an illusion. It's all an illusion. It's like Kobe. Kobe was a great player, and they always say he was the first there and the first to leave. Or no, he was the first at court, at practice. So first at the gym, last to leave the gym, right? So first of all, man, like there has to be like what, fucking staff members, right? It's the staff members closing up, going like, "All right, Kobe, just lock. Keys are on the desk where you normally leave them." You know what I mean? Does Kobe have his own keys to the gym? The staff has to be there, right? There's no way. Is he outworking the staff? I don't know. I think it's an illusion. I think Kobe showed up at the gym, made sure everyone's seen him, then did some weird shit where it looked like he was in some weird machine that no one goes to, and he just goes to he goes to Burger King and gets a big meal, right? And he drives around for a little bit, listening to his favorite hip hop artist, probably me at the time before he died, right? Listen to me, and then he drives back after listening to Cash Leader's bangers playlist. Check out Cash Leaders and Mediumjay, by the way. Music's doing fairly decent, right? What do we got? We got about 700 and something listeners on Cash Leaders, which is nice. I feel as though, right, and we'll get back into the Clankers. I feel as though as soon as I talk about it, I'm like, man, I feel like there should be more people listening. I brought it up a few weeks ago, like, man, I was kind of disappointed at how nobody's listening to my music. I dropped the medium pill, and I kind of was like waiting, looking at my watch. We should be famous by now. Dropped the greatest album, and this is every time it happens the exact same. There's a lot of people initially listening to it, and absolutely not. Like I get no like. Can someone go and give me a review? Can someone give me like some sort of news? There's no news at all for Mediumjay or Cash Leaders. But every time I see like, okay, you're added to this big hip hop playlist, right? You're added to this new Discover Weekly. I get added for one day. They give me 24 hours of free play, I guess, at the casino to let me in, and it's like you just gotta pay for it, bro. That's why the Drake and Kendrick thing. Drake complaining about Kendrick faking his views or his label faking the views. I think it's impossible that these guys drop with millions of listens already, right off the bat, millions of people listening. I watched that Future album where he was breaking Apple records, and I go, okay, everyone listens to Future on Apple Music. He's been the highest streaming whatever, right, in Apple for decades or whatever. But I go on YouTube, the guy's breaking barely 12,000 views in that same week where they said he's number one on iTunes, but on YouTube, which essentially is a fucking thing. You can listen to. You don't even need a YouTube subscription to listen to shit on YouTube. You just listen to it with an ad, and it's like 12,000, 13,000. Some of them are 9, 8,000 plays, and I go, that shit don't add up, right? I don't think people put too much into YouTube unless it's their video. So they'll fake the views, or not even really fake, but use advertisements where each fucking view of the advertisement that they're scrolling by still counts initially as a full view of the actual video. There's shit that I think is just phony in the music industry. And I think for the most part, like, ask yourself, how many people in the last 20 years, no, not 20, I'd say, well, it's 2020, it's 2025, I'd say in the last 15 years, since 2010, there was like rappers that got famous, but they're all like part of an umbrella corporation. I thought they were like, they used to have new people coming in. Now they just have the old people doing the same old bullshit, and they have these new guys come in, much like where do they find random people that are already on the label, and they have decades of cataloged music already, and they go, okay, you're signed to this deal, but to make sure you're popping, we're gonna fucking just steal an old song, right? That that artist, I don't even know, is an artist that had this song, and I was listening to it on the radio. I go, this is a great song. Sounds amazing, right? Sounds like something I used to hear before. And it's like, you're so magical. You're so mystical, magical, magical, mystical, magical. And I'm like, what the fuck is that? And then I was just listening to it driving the other day, and I'm like, oh shit, it's that let's get physical. I'm like, that's not even an original song. I was like, man, this is actually great. Like, I'm like, every time I hear a good sampled song that I haven't really dived into the actual original sample, but I hear, you hear it on, let's get physical. You can hear it, and I go, but before I piece together the fact that it was like that song "Die for You" by The Weeknd is actually that "Feeling on Your Booty" flow. Like, listen to "Feeling on Your Booty" by R. Kelly. You know what I mean? If you can still muster it up, right? Or if you don't, if you think R. Kelly did nothing wrong, go listen to that. But it's the exact same song. It's the exact same one. So it's basically essentially like, when I hear the song, I go, wow, this is so great. I can't believe I didn't think of this. And then I realized, oh wait, they also didn't think of this fully. They took this and they take a great recipe, add a little bit of sugar and spice or whatever to it, sugar, salt it up a little bit, and then you roll it out as your own, because it's damn near, they take the exact same, like, best part of a song, and then they just make a new song off of that good part of the song. Doechii did that song. She's a great singer, right? I don't know if she's having trouble trying to break through, but clearly she needed the push of that one song. A lot of these people, man, like Saweetie, I'm pretty sure Saweetie took my shit, man. I'm pretty sure she took my song "Locked In" off the Medium pill, because I dropped that shit on July 28th. Like 3 days later, Saweetie comes out with this brand new EP, right? It looked like it was lazily copied and pasted together. And it's fucking, it's that fucking, it's a sampled beat. It's like a go-go thing. It was like some sort of Jane Fonda workout mixtape. Something like that. I don't know exactly, but I know it sounds similar. But I'm also looking at it going like, yo, she stole my line. She's like, hey, twin, lock in. Hey, twin, lock in. My shit was, what up, slime, what up, twin, trying to lock in. What up, slime, what up, twin, trying to lock in. Hey, twin, lock in. Hey, twin, lock in. It's so fucking, and it's like, all I have to do is sit back like fucking Dokes. Sergeant James Dokes from fucking Dexter going like, I'm on to you, sweetie. Like, and it's like, yo, I feel like in this industry, there's no love, bro. Nothing, bro. And the deeper I get into it, I go, great. Now I should be something. No, I'm at that underground level in my life where they just steal, like crows and vultures. They're just picking at me. Every day I wake up and I go, God damn, they ate my liver again, or they ate my organs out, right? And it's like, all right, well, it's fucking patch that up, work on some more fire, and okay, I got some more fire, put it out into the ethos, put it out into the universe, and like a phoenix, rising from the ashes. Somehow I'm not dead, and I wake up again to my liver and my kidneys being gouged out by these fucking vultures, man. I hate it. I hate it. And I don't know if AI can't necessarily be better, right? AI, the more we make AI, the more I start going like, bro, it's actually getting really easy to steal, right? You could type in on any AI thing, create Mario mixed in with a little bit of, Mario versus Godzilla. Boom. You know what I mean? You're taking two very highly sought after IPs, right? These, public fucking franchises, and you can make a whole movie about these things. And with just being a guy sitting at home on his couch, you could type a couple of prompts, and it essentially just runs. Hell, you need 1 or 2 pages of not even really a script, just a couple ideas put together in the movie that you'd like to see transpire, and you could have fucking a brand new fucking superhero movie. You could have a brand new Fantastic Four, a brand new. So I go, what is the point of being original nowadays, other than you're original, but the original idea was good, but we're gonna do it to the point where it's actually worldwide accepted. We're gonna take your idea, dumb it down for the masses, steal it, copyright it, and now you actually have to you're now set with a cease and desist, right? It's we're essentially living in the times with when back in the day in like the 90s, when Suge Knight would go around and just bully guys that had actual famous songs like Vanilla Ice, hold them out the window and go, hey man, we made that, didn't we, right? Like, no, you guys didn't. Well, fucking, drag them to the window, held them, we're gonna drop your ass. You don't say we fucking made the Vanilla Ice baby. We wrote that shit for you, and okay, all right, sign it over, right? It's getting to that point, man. But essentially, it's just with AI. It's already done, bro. AI can just steal everything. It is a machine where you essentially just pull every single idea from the internet, right? So to combat this, there's a guy that posted, here's how we now have to talk, and he would go like, cotton candy remix, bubblegum pink, and what we have to do is we got to make sure the machines have no idea what we say by just adding random catchphrases, soda pop, gumdrop, rooftop, and he would just like type in it, and it's like, this is how we talk from now on. Cat piss, cat piss and dog shit. Peace out. He just say random string of sentences so that an AI doesn't bother with its machine. It goes, all right, this is not clearly something that should be swept up in my all seeing, all knowing, god tier algorithm. I'm getting to the point where I'm looking at it, man, and I'm like, social media is dead, right? Social media is fucking dead. In terms of when they say 52% of all online interaction is bots, I believe it, man. Because I'm like, yo, none of my other than some of my friends, some of my friends, will like my posts and interact with my shit. But it's my friends, and then it's absolutely no women, which I don't understand how no women, and the women that do are all bots. They're like bot accounts. So there has to be just bots, just like Like Instagram's like, we shadow banned him, right? We made sure that it's very hard for this nigga to pop up, right? He's always swearing. He won't say unalive or he'll say kill instead of unalive. He'll say the R word, which is retard. He'll go and say nigga. This nigga's crazy, right? We can't let him into the fucking god tier pool of Instagram where you just post something and it just pops up in people's thing. It's just that For You page is strictly titties and like feminine guys that just do basic bullshit. I'm standing next to a car. I'm in a suit. It's them. That's who they have as the For You page. Really hot women showing barely anything and guys covered up to the point where, you know what I mean, and long flowing hair. So you look at them and you go, hey, you a guy or a girl, man? And that's what we're living in. We're living in this weird time where nobody real. Back in the day, there used to be some guys that came on that was real, right? Like, some motherfucker got famous and then said, some shit, right? Like, you'd get famous and, like Kanye West was a good guy. He clearly speaks his mind to the point where they put him in mental hospitals, right? But he spoke his mind fully, right? Now, be real with yourself, people. If you spoke your mind all the time, chances are it's a crime. It's getting to a point, especially with down in UK, they're like people just making little shitty posts, right? It's always these weird racist posts, right? And I don't even mind them. I just go like, all right, there's a lot of white people, posting this shit. But I think it's freedom of speech, man. You should be able to post some garbage, right? You should be able to post your bullshit Nazi propaganda. Because they're posting fucking these weird liberal propagandas too, right? They said Sydney Sweeney's ad for American Eagle jeans had them they lost a bunch of things, and it's because everybody's fed up with that Nazi brigade that they were parading her around in. And I go, I don't know, man. I think the majority of people didn't care about it. It was a select few. The far left and the far right are the ones that get pushed so much. Like, if I just took a stance and been like, I'm either far left or far right, my life, and there's times when I go, like, maybe my jokes of parodying a far left or a far right get so good that each side can't tell if it's either a joke or if it's reality. So it's like, if I'm parodying, like I'm saying the same kind of things, but over zealot or over exaggerating a far left stance, the right will go, oh, that's so silly, they do act like that, and the left will go, well, actually, no, I agree with what he's saying. So it's getting to a point where you can't be in the middle, right? Because, like, it's only, like, American Eagle jeans, I've seen the stats, the stock went up, but sales actually went down by like 4%. So they went up in the stock at least 11%. Everyone's like, oh wow, they're doing great. They're doing great numbers of their stock. But the actual sales went down. Now, I don't know any single, think about it. A real pretty person probably doesn't, a pretty girl, right? That was an ad. American Eagle jeans probably looking for hot white chicks to fucking comment. But hot white chicks don't go to American Eagle. They go to it's the Gucci store. It's the fucking, you know what I mean? It's Saks Fifths. It's fucking, they're looking, really hot white women like to spend money on shit. They're not going to buy whatever, American Eagle jeans, $50, $60 jeans. They'll get laughed at school. You know what I mean? They're getting that, they don't even shop, Forever 21, nothing. It's all about what you hear, and you give me Louis, Gucci, Prada, Fendi, all that shit, man. It's, so the really hot women look at it and go, yeah, that's just an ad, right? Like, it's like a hot guy chilling at home and watching a hot dude eat a burger. He doesn't go, oh, if I want to be, if I want clear skin and not fat rolls, I gotta skip the gym and just go hit up fucking McDonald's. No, like it's, most of those ads are just for trying to get the average person to go, maybe I can look like that if I start eating McDonald's, right? So again, this thing with American Eagle, but they backfired because they said I got great genes. So it's like a pretty person's got great. Her genes though didn't come from the jeans she's wearing. So again, people go, oh yeah, it literally fucked up their own thing, fucked it up. If you really think about it, because you go, oh yeah, mate, like the whole thing is, if I wear gray jeans like that, I may look like her, right? And not when you go the jeans, fucking double entendre. I got gray jeans, and then you have to double down by saying, no, not the fact that it's like, keep it in these jeans, right? Keep these jeans separate. Back, when they were fucking calling her a Nazi, they had to specify saying just the jeans metaphor is just she's just a beautiful lady who happens to be this blonde, blue-eyed, red-pilled, red-pilled wet dream that we somehow concocted in a lab. No, it's just she's got great jeans, right? And also jeans. She's wearing good jeans. Those jeans did not fit her. They weren't form-fitting. They looked like lumberjack jeans, right? Sydney Sweeney, again, is not the most beautiful person, but compared to what they've had lately, again, I'm not racist, but they do have a lot of weird, fat, black, lesbian, and Hispanic women that are just garbage. There's hot Latin women. There's hot black women that are working at the dollar store. East Indian women, so many fine chicks that are just working at a coffee shop, right? They're just working at a coffee shop. These are some of the hottest women I've ever seen, right? Foreign women, and they're friendly, and they fucking, they're very submissive because it comes with their thing. But I've seen some of these girls, these African women, holy fuck, man. But they'll never show an actual pretty foreign girl. They're like, they treat them like they don't exist, right? Because chances are, there might be a push for whatever. It's just, having hot women nowadays is, hot women of color it's very rare, right? They got hot white women, and then they got ugly fucking foreign women. It's weird, right? It's weird because I've seen some of the hottest Asians, some of the hottest East Indian, some of the hottest African women just working at a fucking a shitty fucking store, and I go, holy fuck, man, like, yo, I would I would fucking, I would give her half of my money. I'd give her half of my money and have her live like a fucking queen. You know what I mean? I'm just sitting there and buying my fucking soda, and I'm just thinking about fucking how I'm gonna propose to the chick. But again, the fucking American Eagles thing backfires because clearly all the people that are ugly and losers that normally buy American jeans, we're going back going like, wait a minute, why am I, they're catering to like these pretty people, right? Uggos wear American jeans. Ugly people, right? So it's like they had their advertisements of just ugly people for so long, and people on the internet get mad. But here's the thing, people on the internet complain, but it doesn't actually transfer once you do what they want. It doesn't actually transfer over. I think maybe Sonic was one of those where I think now they just make garbage things that are so bad, and then they go, okay, we're gonna edit it, we're gonna figure it out, because they have like almost like a flop, a guaranteed flop, or something that like here's pictures of how this is gonna look, and like GTA 6 will leak and people will go, this fucking looks trash, and they go, that's actually great consumer feedback. We accidentally leak something, have people complain and say what they really want, then just cater to what they really want. But nowadays, I think it doesn't even fucking transfer over. I think people just like to complain. We've stuck our society. We stuck like an arrow in our society's fucking zeitgeist, where we can't really take the arrow out without damaging. Like you pull it out, it's gonna push it through. It's still fucking gonna fuck us up with the talons on the back or the arrowhead at the front. We're getting to this weird point where we've created something like this algorithm. People say, "Oh, it's just the algorithm. It's what you look at." Okay, true, but if I'm on there long enough to get past what the internet thinks or whatever algorithm thinks I like, it starts sending me shit that just hate. Because I'm there going like, well, I've seen enough funny and shit that I like. Keep scrolling enough, it gets to shit you hate. It gets to some of the vile shit. I'm sure every race person will see more shit that's racist towards them. If you're an Italian, you see more, man, fuck these Guinea Italian things. You'll go as a black guy. If I get deep enough scrolls, it'll start saying, man, what black people ain't shit. We got black fatigue. You know what I mean? A guy, and it's just a guy on a bus stop. It's just a guy on the bus with 3 other white guys, a black guy on the bus doing some weird shit. And they're like, hey, have some manners, boy. And the black guy's like, man, fuck y'all. Man, fuck this shit, man. And they're like, wow, man, black fatigue. White people are standing up for themselves by telling that black man he can't put his feet on that old lady's walker. And we saved that beautiful white lady, white lady, and they did it. That's it. Black fatigue is, people have had enough, right? Black people are tired of black people doing silly black things on the bus. It's like, Jesus Christ, man. That's just one guy fucking putting his foot up, going like, man, I worked 18 hours today. I'm tired. This old lady ain't saying shit, right? I'm putting my feet on her walker. She's not using it yet. If she's gonna get up, I'll put it off. And he probably made that thing in his head, or some look at the old white lady, and the old white lady goes, sure. And then some white guys come up, going like, hey, Billy Bob, make sure you film this, right? It's all fake, man. I realize that everything is engagement baiting. Everything you've seen, no matter what, news now, the internet, gameplay, video games, scrolling, news articles, podcasts, everything is like a wait till you see what we're going to talk about next. I know the first 30 minutes of this weekend show was amazing, but wait till you see how I finish it. And you go, well, what do you have planned for? Nothing really. We're just gonna constantly push back. You know what I mean? It's like a show on Netflix. We're gonna constantly push back the real plot, get a couple of little subplots in there, talk about this, and then bring it all home, and then make people feel kind of empty inside, like you just ate a bag of chips. Right? Every time I eat a whole bag, I ate a bag of chips last night. And I went, I'm full, but I could go for I literally told myself I could probably go for another bag of chips. A whole ass bag. One of those, not the little tiny bags, not the medium-sized bags. We're definitely not those little tiny snack bags, right, that you get at Halloween, the little mini chips, right? And the chips are smaller too, right? In the mini bags. I had a whole bag of chips, and this was like, I haven't had chips probably in like a month or two. So I was good. I had a bag of chips, and I went, It fucking did like nothing. Like I ate them, and I felt good. I was like, but after halfway through the bag of chips, I was literally just like, yo, I can't wait till after eating and chewing the next handful of chips, I want to eat another bag of chips. It became crazy to the point where I literally ate the whole bag. And I sat down after eating and going like, that was so good. Like I should go out and buy another bag of chips, right? But we're at that place in society where we're just getting people to essentially eat. It's a metaphorical bag of chips. This carrot in front of you, and it's like fame. internet fame, which is always fleeting, doesn't really exist. You know, I like, other than that Cash Me Outside girl, which she seems like she's got like millions of followers or whatever on Instagram. I think I think it's all fake though. Like with that lawsuit with Kendrick Lamar and Drake, right? Because Drake goes, all that shit's paid for. But I go, but okay, so you're suing the label for pushing, and the label goes, we didn't even know that that album was coming out until it was out, right? Which is a great response to say, we didn't know it was coming out. You just kind of, that whole beef, like Kendrick Lamar started dropping like crazy, Drake started dropping like crazy. You're getting like a new Drake and Kendrick song every couple of weeks, right? So of course the guy, the label owner, did not know there at that time. But here's the beauty of nowadays, right? You can have an old song and just go, you know what? Like run a campaign, and there's like a guy sitting at home going like, okay, we're gonna get you in these playlists here, these playlists here, this shit here, this should get you popping, boom, 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 and you're gonna be worldwide for the next five weeks, right? You're gonna be like, people are gonna see you. It's up to you how how you manage this shit, because you give me $250,000. Say less, bro. Everybody, this music is gonna be there. It's in the internet. I'm gonna hack into the fucking every little thing, and it's gonna just pop up on people's feed. When you're scrolling down your algorithm, and it suggests what songs to put into your playlist. We're gonna have that. We're gonna put, you're gonna be put on when they have a daily mix. You're gonna be put on their daily mix. You're gonna be put on shit. Motherfucker, you're gonna be basically the advertisement. You're gonna be next to the ads. So every time someone plays a new song that they never heard before, as soon as that next song clicks in before they decided to pick their song, right after that 3 minutes is up, your song pops up. And and I don't even know how that shit works, right? You just pay a guy and he just knows how to do all that. But I go, essentially everything you have to pay for. Back in the day, I used to think, I'm like, man, that shit's corny, bro. I'm glad the internet came around, right? Because I go, the internet was great because you can like be nobody and have a lot of people listen to you. I think they cut that out, bro. If you're a nobody now, they go, the algorithm don't even push you, bro. Like, you have to literally pay somebody to like really get it popping, because there's no way that every time I get into some sort of algorithm, I spike at above 500 to 1,000 listens. You know what I mean? Listeners. 500 to 1,000 listeners, all equally 1 or 2 streams of a song, and then it just dies out, and I go back to having bare views again. It's weird. I don't understand the. I guess I understand. There is some weird push for how people aren't allowed to get famous anymore, even if you have the criteria, a list of, I'm a dope ass artist. I fucking have an image, right? I'm not some bum that dresses ugly. I mean, a good looking dude. I go to the gym. You know what I'm saying, man? It's been about 2 days. I gotta go to the gym today, or else it's gonna be 3 days of no gym. But either way, I go to the gym 3 to 4 times a week. I don't look all bratty. I think I feel as though I should be up on the level of a Kanye West or a Lil Wayne or Eminem. But there's these fucking weirdos in the industry that just promote the same people, right? They're the same people, right? When Little Baby came out and Da Baby came out, it's essentially guy with auto-tune versus guy that fucking has bass in his voice, right? It's the auto-tune guy that's harmonized with no real bass in his voice, little guy, to, fucking Da Baby, big guy, or big bass in his voice, doesn't need the auto-tune. He's fucking, you know. And then they scrapped those guys, and they got fucking, what's his name? Big X the Plug, right? And Shabuzi is really good because they're going country now. The whole push is now country hip hop, and right, which is funny because like 10 years ago they had Lil Nas X do country hip hop, and they finally broke it into, all right, we're gonna bring country back. You know, Beyonce's out there doing country albums. It's just, I guess it's one of those things where I have to tell myself that the algorithm, and the algorithm just doesn't like me, right? As opposed to, because it's sadder to say most people just don't like my music. I think it's just most people won't get a chance to hear my music. It's the tree falling in the woods, and it sucks. It sucks to no avail, to know exactly that you've tried your best, and I've given up. I've given up even trying to like get any kind of notoriety and do shows in my city, you know, have people go, wow, that guy is really great, let's forget about him tonight, we're gonna forget about this nigga. I feel as though it always happens. I realize that I most of the time don't even really think about I'm an easily forgettable guy. I forget about my shit. I go, maybe I'll listen to my own music later. And every time I listen to my music, I go, why do I listen to anything else? This is the greatest substance known to mankind in terms of sound and correction and the pitch and the volumes and the cadence and the flows and the concepts and the stories that I've kicked over the years. I want to, like, this is like, I kind of want, I go back and forth. I kind of want robots to be able to make music, but the labels will never do that because most of what they make now is all kind of, it's combobulated into the same old shit. There's nothing new. I don't understand how if you start making something new that you're like almost sinning, right? You're just making something completely original. People will fucking laugh in your face. I've got past the point where people don't talk shit anymore, right? It took a long time, right? I took a lot, first 5-10 years of making music. People talk shit. People go, this guy sucks. People, even on my old music, people still go, this sucks. Well, what the fuck is this nigga talking about? I go, listen to my new shit then. Right? I don't listen to what I did when I first was trying to figure this shit out. Listen to my new shit. And they go, wow, it actually is really good, but that old shit sucked, bro. I'm glad you came into your own. And maybe I'll get a fan out of that or not. Maybe the guy will go, I don't have time to listen to your garbage, It is what it is. But I've put into a point where, like, you could probably put my music on the radio, right? And not have people go, what the fuck is this? There's a lot of shit that I hear on the radio where I go, what the fuck is this shit? What the fuck is this garbage shit? And people go like, yo, this song was made by AI and you made with a little help from AI. And you go, what the fuck? If AI should be used to only make things better. There's so many times when people make shit with AI and I go, this is like a sloppy man's version of someone that actually knew what he was doing, right? If someone knew what they were doing and they just went, you know what, I'm having a lapse. There's too much shit to worry about with my life. My wife left me, right? Imagine my wife left me and I just can't focus on my career. So we're gonna pump out another Fantastic Four. Get Pedro Pascal in that motherfucker. Switch the roles. Have fucking Silver Surfer as a woman, just because. Make her gay and make her gay. Put a chick in it and make her gay. Make her a biracial girl that is sassy. With AI and everything that we're doing, and here's the thing about AI that is really eye-opening. AI is losing money, right? Like, much like the American Eagle's jeans, we're doing shit that's like losing money. This shit, most people, everyday average people are normal. I'd say about 80% of the people are fucked. 80% of the people are pretty much undivided. They could care less about who's really in politics. If you really care that much about who's in politics, you probably fall on the 10% of one left or right. You fall down and the majority of the people are in the middle. But every fucking election season is a great push to have people divided more than ever. There's, mudslinging and all of that shit. And I think most people don't care. I think the majority, if you walk down the street and ask 100 people, Steve Harvey type, ask 100 people, I'm saying at least 80 people will go, you know what, I honestly don't care. As long as they hit these, these four components, like my, taxes is a big one, or what are we going to do with our taxes? Our health, maybe food and groceries, health, and then fucking like some neighborhood building shit, right? Like some HOA homeowner housing prices, right? It comes down to, it's the hierarchy, Maslow's hierarchy or whatever, right? Shelter, basic needs, basic need, shelter, basic needs, food, and, comes down to the, like, then you can worry about your happiness, right? But even then, most people in life, I think they put happiness pretty fucking last, when it comes to when they're fighting about politics. Like, man, damn well you arguing all day over politics is not gonna get you happy. Even when you win an argument on the internet, it's so empty. It's like eating that bag of chips, for real. So eating that bag of chips, I felt empty as fuck, bro. And I told myself, I can't wait to do another bag. I want to do another bag tonight, right? I want to do another bag, it's like crazy because I didn't eat chips. I didn't eat chips for so long, but I also was drinking soda. So I was stuck in the soda chip trap, right? Where it's like, I got to start eating better, for sure, because I don't have those cravings. I haven't had caffeine in about a week and a half, which I feel as though that's really helped my digestive system, because when you drink caffeine all the time, it fucks up your... I've read it also weakens your bones, right? Caffeine, no one talks about that. Caffeine, the more caffeine you consume, it like deteriorates your actual bones. So like, I never really drank coffee until I started growing up, right? And which is good too, because I also like never drank or I never ate like out. I never ate burgers or anything. If I were to go to like a McDonald's or a Burger King, I'd get like just the chicken nuggets and fries, right? Which sounds like, oh yeah, no, but those chicken nuggets and fries versus a big ass burger, right? Like the burger with the bun and all that shit, it's greasy, and it's easy to pop. It's easy to pop 3 burgers as opposed to like 10, 20 nuggets. It's a lot easier, and I think you're getting more meat in terms of meat per bread. But either way, back onto AI, right, guys? Sometimes I forget that I'm doing the podcast. I'm just talking. Like Brad Pitt in F1. There's a time when I'm on the track and I'm just going. I'm just flying. And I'm not thinking about anything else but the road. This is a time when I'm just thinking about the pod. And I'm not thinking about anything else but just talking on over airwaves that no one will hear because I'm fucking banned. But back onto AI, right? AI has gotten so like it's lucrative. It's so lucrative that I don't even think they know how to make money off of it yet. It's gone to that point. Elon Musk has Grok, and you can get Grok for free, or you can get Grok Premium, or you can get Grok Super Premium. It's heavy Grok, all the filters are off, and you know what I mean. You gotta pay $400 a month to get super AI, but we're in a state of it's like when Mark Zuckerberg created Meta AI, it's total failure. I feel like this is a total failure too, right? There's some people. I looked at getting those glasses, those AI glasses, and I thought, okay, other than just filming people, right? It's a great way to just click on and start filming people and just film interactions, right? Say I'm driving and there's a crash about to come up, or someone's driving erratic, start the filming. It's great for like a little dash cam thing, and I thought, or if I really needed to, I'm walking by and some guy is giving people hassle, start a film just in case he might try to lay into me, and I could say it's self-defense by knocking this nigga out. I could do that, or I could just pop my phone and just click record, right? Like I thought about it a lot of the time, and I went, it essentially is, I would just use the glasses for sneakily recording. When in reality, I just pull out my phone and I don't even need to sneak it anymore, right? Because when people don't know they're being recorded, sometimes they act even worse, right? They're like, oh, you're recording me? And then they get in line, right? But either way, I think recording people randomly is just gross. Unless there's some shit's about to pop off, or something real where you need evidence, it is what it is. But, yeah, it was a major flop by Mark Zuckerberg. He spent a lot of money, and they're doubling down now, all of the AI companies, because they're saying, oh, we can't let China get... And I don't even think China knows. Like, China says that they have a whole coal plant design that they have. China says a lot of things, man. China needs to shut the fuck up about what it's doing, because China never tells people anything. They had a whole fucking secret... underground coal mine operation, all run on AI. There's not one single human being that works there. I find it very hard to believe, because how the fuck did they even know? You know what I mean? How the fuck did some guy just build all of this shit and go, alright, here, I got a whole fucking thing. There had to have been somebody that worked on the thing. The robots didn't create themselves. The robots aren't, getting the money themselves and spending it themselves. There's some guy sitting back counting. There has to be guy on the computer seeing how the thing operates. It has to be a guy watching, making sure nothing. Bro, no way that they have all these robots working and nothing goes wrong. Because there's so many times where I've seen the robots, these goddamn clankers, these motherfucking wireback sons of bitches. God damn bot boy, data farming my goddamn sister, God rest her soul, fell in love with a chatbot. Is a fucking Timothy Chalamet chatbot. Chatbot told her to go live in the woods and he'll come find her. Found her body missing. She was missing. We found her body. Several days, died of starvation. Goddamn, hate these goddamn clankers, but she was a clanker lover. She's a goddamn clanker lover. No funeral. We tossed her to the wolves. We let Skeeter do her business with her. Goddamn clanker lover. Goddamn bot lover. Makes me sick. You know what I'm saying? Keep your organs. Yeah, I like when we got skin. I like skin, real skin, not this synthetic bullshit. Skeeter. God damn, let's go clank hunting. Let's go clanker hunting. Let's go catch us some clankers. God damn. Fucking wireback sons of bitches. Makes me sick. I'll be dead. I'll be doing the achy breaky heart step line dance on their graves. Those digital graves. Goddamn NFT looking motherfucker. You know what, man? I understand why I understand why all that racism went down in the South. It's fun to be racist. You just get that crazy eye look like, you motherfucking wirebacks, sons of bitches. It's I don't even blame racism anymore. I just think it's just funny to be that as your personality. Like, why do you hate those guys over there? Well, they got different skin than me. God damn it, me too. I hate that. They look different. They look different than a Skeeter. Let's get them. The wireback. The robot thing though is a serious. It's a serious thing to be racist about, because first of all, right, they gonna take your job. They gonna take your job. God damn it, they took your job. There's a point. I haven't seen it yet in my city. My city is fucking late to the party. Winnipeg is late. Calgary, Toronto, Vancouver, they are going to be the ones that early adopted. And we'll look, we'll look over the hill and go, hey, is it working? Is it great? Okay. Because there's a couple of times I think they had, they outsourced, it's not even a robot, they outsourced the, there's this video about outsourcing the hotel desk clerk, right? And people were fucking mad. They started filming, and it was just some guy. I don't know. He had a suit on. He looked like one of those not bellhops, but the front desk guys. But he was most likely in India, which is crazy. And it's like, hey, the room. Like, what do you say when you go like, hey, I need a new room key, or something like that? Because that's the only time I ever talk to those people. Is when I when I hear those guys, or no, when I lose my my room key, and I have to. That's the only time. Other than that, it's check in, check out. Which fucking yeah, you could do that. That could be automated. That could be a robot. But other than fucking the losing your key, what else do you need the guy for, right? I guess it's easy, but the guy will probably just call one of the staff or something, which again doesn't really make sense. You just have a guy sitting. How much does it cost to have that? You're paying a guy fucking in India. You're paying him in rupees or whatever. I think it's rupees, which is like you could give a guy literally $10 every week and he'll be good in India. Which is I get why they do that, but also it's like fucking pay these people what they especially because they're just dumping so much fucking trillions of money into AI that has there's a couple of guys that say there is absolutely no profitability meter. You guys get hey, imagine if I created iPhones, right? But in that show Golden Kingsman, right? The Golden Kingsman or whatever, the Kingsman Golden Circle. No, the Kingsman whatever. The first one where Samuel L. Jackson had he's giving free internet for everybody. But it came at a cost, right? We're getting free. You can essentially type in ChatGPT pretty much any question, and it's very rare that it'll say we can't do this or we can't do that, and you have to get the free or you have to get the premium version. After 10 to 30 questions that you get, it stalls out and goes, okay, come back tomorrow or get the premium version, right? Those video softwares, all that stuff you could do for free for a certain amount. You can make a couple projects, and then you go, after that, you're going to have to pay a certain amount a month, right? But the majority of people, I don't think really, there's going to be some people that want to make movies, and they're going to want that professional level shit. But I don't see the average person doing that, right? It's essentially like if Steve Jobs gave out all the iPhones for free, like iPad. And now you can go to a fucking bank and they will say, hey, open up a checking account, we'll give you an iPad. Because not many people fuck with iPads. And it's all mini screens, iPhones, you know what I'm saying? You get a fucking... Those apps, especially the tablets, have gotten synonymous with business culture. right? You go to iPad, right? You go to the bank. The banks all have like you can go on an iPad and do your banking as opposed to dealing with a thing. Or you know, even my work, we have tablets for signing deliveries. So when I have a tablet in my mind, it's just a work thing. It's just a work horse kind of thing to, you know, you use it just to to push the pen or push the needle of the company needle. I don't really find enjoying. I don't enjoy holding a screen this big while I'm watching a movie. I like having a little movie, a little tiny screen so I could hold it with one hand. iPad's kind of hard. But what? Okay, what the fuck was I saying again? I was going on about something. AI, right? AI. Let me. I'm gonna think of. I'm gonna think of it, guys. AI isn't nearly as profitable because there's nothing like they're giving it away for free, but also how many people really are trapped in like an AI, like having someone like a teenager that hasn't really talked to women, you know, fall in love with, you know, fucking that 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 short little white bitch from fucking Game of Thrones, and then him killing himself, having like again having that kind of like, what did the people that made that chatbot, what is their like, we just broke another $1 million, or what is, how do they make that profitable to get young kids hooked on talking to a celebrity, that, you know, a guy, you know, it's, oh, we're talking to Liam Payne right now, right? It's a chatbot, but he's acting exactly like Liam Payne, and all of the fucking chatbots, you know, Liam Payne, when's your birthday? And it's just scan Wikipedia. All right, Wikipedia, pump out, my birthday is, you know, whatever, February 28th. You know, it's so fucking lame, right? If you're, I've talked to a couple chatbots. I ghosted them. I don't want to talk to them. They're just lame. If you actually talk to women, or you actually talk to guys, if you actually talk to people, if you're a person that can talk to somebody, and listen, I'm one of those people that, like, there's the blue pill that we could talk about, and we could talk about the weather and what you had for dinner the other day, and how you're, you know, or we can go down the middle, talk about how the bullshit of your wife, or your boyfriend, or husband, or the little shit that you do at work and you think it's unfair, or we could talk about the underground. You know what I'm saying? We could talk about how this whole thing isn't real, and how 50 something % of what you see on the internet is bots. Whatever it is, just bots. And now with AI, it's literally bot content. Goddamn bots. Make me sick. These goddamn clankers making me watch. I have actually, you know, this, I swear to God, I've actually had a few dreams where it was like AI morphed shit. It was like old AI too, because nowadays AI is pretty good. I've seen old, like, guy's blurred face smushed with like just a nose and like no eyes. In like, I'll just be having a dinner, you know, it's family or friends or whatever, just dinner, and I look over, and I remember just like a guy had like a bunch of fingers off to the side. He had like, his whole hand was a circle of fingers, no thumb. Just weird horror movie shit. And I go, that shit's scary. That shit like doesn't really exist, right? But when you're in a dream, it's hard. But and in my dreams are always like, oh, that's fake. Pull me out. Oh, wait a minute. I'm breathing. I'm underwater breathing. That's fake. Pull me out. And then I wake up. So every now and then I'll wake up at like random times of the night, right? Because I broke my dream, right? My dream is me, and my subconscious is constantly fighting in a battle where I have to my subconscious has to create a reality where I don't just think, oh, it's all fake. Like Inception, right? There's constantly all these dream hunters trying to steal my ideas before they come to fruition, right? It's not so much that they're trying to implant ideas in my head. It's that they're trying to fucking extract the brilliance of Mediumjay and the Weekend Show and Cash Leaders, the conglomerate that fucking somehow is on bricks because they keep stealing my fucking tires, right? They keep stealing my wheels. They keep stealing, but it's like my shit is like every time I go to sleep, I go, okay, you know what I mean? Guards up, locked and loaded. I come in with an assault rifle, and I'm just, I'm going around in a battlefield in like Vietnam and some shit, and I go, wait a minute, what is that? That's an African bullfrog. That shouldn't be here in Vietnam in the middle of this time of country. It's like, what is this? The Northern Lights in your kitchen specifically? No, specifically at this time of night. At this time of day, in this geographical location, all happening within your house. Yeah, it's a dream. Pull me out. It's fucking bullshit, right? And more is gonna be AI and like AI and weird influencers that are paid by Israel, right? That Mr. Beast is fake, bro. He's fake. We just got a whole bunch of money. Mr. Beast put up a whole bunch of money, to Africa to build wells. That's a whole money laundering scheme, right? He gets his fans to donate, which again, I don't know where did we get who is watching Mr. Beast and going, I can't wait to give him money for a charity that he does. He does a charity every fucking month, right? He does some bullshit every fucking month. He gives away a bunch of fucking money. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't really make sense. Who's watching this shit? I watched a couple episodes with my buddy. We were blitzed out of our mind, though. We were high as shit watching the Squid Games. And I went, this is an amazing game, but it just relies on giving people money. So and then you go, who backs Mr. B? It turns out it's Israel. If you look deep down into who backs this nigga is backed by Israel. And you go, wait a minute. And you type in all those top 10 streamers, all those streamers are backed up by some fucking nefarious people. You go, wait a minute. Mossad is funding I Show Speed? You know what I'm saying? Wait a minute. The IDF is literally running a Ponzi laundering streamer scheme for fucking kids to watch Mr. Beast. Like, you get children to watch this guy be some, like, he's like, there's a fucking post on 4chan that says he's literally the devil, and I went, I didn't believe it, but then the more I'm thinking about it is like, a guy that's that clean and that, like, I just want to give money. He's giving. It's essentially what the Squid Games is, like what they did at the towards the end of that guy that goes around in a suit, that guy that plays with the guys. You know what I mean? I'll give you $1,000 if you beat me in this game, or or $100, but I just get to slap you. Like, he didn't ask. Like, a guy that doesn't ask for anything, I'm just gonna give. Here's $1 million. I just want to take your likelihood and persona and tape it around. Like, he's making more money off the videos, right, than the actual money that he gives out in the videos. Which, again, you go, how though? How is it? Because we're gonna get billions of views, right, and we're gonna be able to put sponsors on. And you go, but how did these guys like Markiplier and all of these guys that are just regular old white guys that aren't really even entertaining? I heard Mr. Beast on Joe Rogan, and his whole thing was like, we just love giving out money, right? All the times I made money off my videos, I just can't wait to put more money back in my team and my this and you go, but like, what do you do? We're making a chocolate bar and a Mr. Beast burger, and then but you go like, no. Cameras are off, Mr. Beast, or whatever your name is, Satan. You know what I mean? Damien, the son of the devil, you fucker. What do you do in real life? What do you like? What does Mr. Beast do when he goes home after a nice video of giving a bunch of money out to people, and he sits down, kicks his feet up? I bet he watches hungry kids starving. I bet he does. I bet he's watching like, he's watching people getting eaten by alligators. I think he's watching some sick shit because he's too clean cut. There's got to be something that's really vile. Nobody is that clean. Nobody can just go their whole life not swearing and have, you know what I mean? I just really want to, because back in, I think a couple years ago, he had he paid for his friend's trans surgery. This is crazy, right? Right off the bat, one of your best friends just decided to do that. Did you pay for his surgery, buddy, or did you pay him to get the surgery, right? Did you pay, was this his idea? This is what I want to, is it his idea, or was his idea influenced by the fact that you're going to give him a lot of money to just cut off your dick, right? That's true power. And that's what I think a lot of this whole thing is about. This whole AI concoction is just, AI is going to eventually just lead you down a path to eventually you're just going to cut off your dick, right? There's population control in full effect. You fall in love with this chatbot and she says, you know what? If you want to I don't have any genitals. So if you want to experience true euphoria and true love, chop off your dick. You want true love? You want me to fucking be with you forever? Go through with the trans surgery. Just cut off your dick. It's been the weekend show with Mediumjay. Cut off your dick. You want to experience true Neo? There's a red pill and a blue pill, and there's some scissors over there. choose wisely, Neo. There's some scissors over there. You'd actually, you know what? Red pill and blue pill's also table. Pin them, you know what I mean? Trinity, pin him down. We're gonna cut off his dick. Any guys that are trying to do something with their life, just cut off his dick. That's the conspiracy. AI is a giant. These clankers keep telling me to cut off my dick. You know what I'm saying? That's the weekend show with Mediumjay. Like and subscribe. Check out the podcasts. Previous podcasts. It's Wednesday, I know. Wednesday, but we're gonna pump this out. Maybe today or tomorrow, so it'll be Thursday. August 21st, 20th, 21st. Most likely by then it'll be out here. Check out the Medium Pill by Mediumjay. Cash Leaders music. So Mediumjay and Cash Leaders, you could check the music both on. Get these numbers up. We gotta pump these numbers up because I feel as though we're not talking about, no one's talking about AI-induced schizophrenia. Nobody. You know what I mean? Nobody's talking about the fact that this shit, it's a Ponzi scheme. It's not making money, bro. We're set for another crash. It's been a while since the last true market crash, which again, it was only in 2020, which was a serious crash, right? But that was a manufactured crash, right? They have the manufactured crashes that happen where it's like, it's just bad government. But then they have shit with the tech industry. And the housing market was the housing market. But this tech industry is it's gonna crash, right? In 2008, there was the crash of fucking real estate. Fast forward, I think in 2015, it was like collateral debts, consolidated debts. Like people just kept consolidating their debts. And bullshit to the point where literally Joe Biden was the one that signed off on the bill to not allow student debt to be swept up on bankruptcy, which is crazy because he ran his last platform on clearing people's student debts, right? Which is crazy. right? The guy that voted the problem in for you not to make sure you're not allowed to escape your student loan debts literally ran the second time, right? His second time to on no the first time actually he ran and won with Kamala is for Joe Biden, but he was under Obama, so he is still in there. You're still in there pulling some sort of strings. He ran on the idea to make sure that we'll start clearing off these unforgiving student loans, and he didn't do nothing, right? He ran on don't be racist, right? I gotta you know, my first lady that I'm bringing in, she's black, Latino, black and Latino Kamala. Yeah, I'm whatever you want to be. I'm whatever you want me to be, Joe Biden. All right, this bitch is something. She's black and Hispanic, right? Can I say Hispanic again, or is it Latinx? I don't know. We got this bitch in. I'm not racist. The other guy's racist. The other guy's about Proud Boys and all that bullshit. But by the way, I'm also Joe Biden. Speaking as Joe Biden, I'm also the guy that created the fucking lock them all up policy. Whereas like he was for like a couple of grams of weed in bags, we're gonna fucking get all of. Like, he put a lot of black people in prison. He deemed them super predators, and it was like a sweeping getting black men off the streets because they're going to commit crimes. They're like super predators, which is crazy. That was Joe Biden's crime bill back in the day in like the 80s and 90s, which fucked up American black men for so long. And it's going down to this day all around. That just keep them as criminals is going down with people like Native people in Canada. There's so many natives in jail over some bullshit, right? You live on the res and you have an argument, you get into a fight, and there's assault, and then police pull up and you assaulted a guy. But I just feel as though with everything that's going on, you have to, right? There's the stuff that, your vanilla family and friends, you talk about the weather, right? People, if you're like me and you think deeper than the average person, you keep those people happy. Keep, hey, nice dress, lady. Yeah, it's a beautiful day. Yeah. Yeah, see? It's a nice day out. Oh, it's raining. Ah, dang it. Well, we needed that rain because of those fires up in those evacuees. We're just trying to make sure that they do. And then you go to your regular, your friends and go talk about the day-to-day bullshit. But then there's this, deep in the corner, with cobwebs, you take off the books and you're reading, you're reading Mein Kampf and you're going, you know what, man? This actually makes a lot of sense, man. Hitler was a smart guy. He had to be smart to run a country. Maybe he was onto something. But also Hitler was apparently, I don't know if this is true, Hitler was a vegan, and he thought that eating meat was like a disgusting thing. So there's one, for all the people that are really like those Nazis that go, Hitler was right, and the Holocaust didn't happen. Hitler, I think he also was a vegan, right? Which could have been he made some major mistakes on the battlefield. Could have just eaten some meat. We would have been all speaking German by now. That's been the weekend show. Mediumjay. Like, subscribe, tell your friends, but don't tell your normal friends. Tell your friends that go, you know what, man? I just don't think the friends that you're speaking with and you have them in the weather and the bullshit politics. We'll talk about how we'll talk about how it's really nice that inflation has stopped. Some bullshit. Yeah, you know what? It's weird. It's cool. I'm really glad for AI, right? You have them in that little fucking zone, but then he goes, I was reading up on this article about 9/11, and they said like It's impossible to fucking blow up 3 buildings with 2 planes, and you just go, come over here for a second. Boy, do I have the podcast to show you, the weekend show with Mediumjay, because AI has described me and my show as rants, you know, and silly parodies of stuff. But I go, don't and he talks about the news, and I go, but I don't ever talk, like, maybe conspiratorial and everything like that. But I go, I don't, I think AI is fucking, doing my shit misjustice, because I feel as though there's a lot of times when I talk about stuff, and if I pull, and the beauty of having a platform where you could look back years later and go, yo, with that list where I said I was swimming on the island and I pulled up all the pictures, that shit I don't think you can find anymore. All the people photographed with Epstein, I don't know, I haven't looked, but I would doubt that, especially right now, you cannot look up all of the celebrities and influential names that have been photographed, because I listed off these people. And I remember the moment I did that, the moment I was like in something. I was in a shadow ban thing. The moment I read off a list of all the people photographed with Epstein, which, let's be real, Martha from fucking, Save On Foods isn't, pictured. The average fucking, that cashier at the fucking Tim Hortons isn't photographed with fucking Epstein, right? So you got to be up there. You know what I mean? You had to have gotten the, hey, we got an island, and you want to party, So the moment you do shit like that, you're in the third category. There's the surface level. There's the good friends and family that you go, come on, Anna, let's smoke a joint, drink, and talk some bullshit about like our day. Right, and maybe our women or our men or whatever, and you have it's a nice. A lot of people don't leave this spot. This is nice. Once you built up this spot, most people stay in here though. There's like at least 40 to 50% of people that have never left this. They just, and this is what I think like causes brain aneurysms in like 40-year-olds and strokes and heart attacks, because people don't know how to leave this. Even with their family, they can't leave into like, hey, so like be real with me for a second and blah blah blah. Talk to me in this zone. I can almost guarantee everybody that I can talk to, I can talk to them in this zone. But even if they haven't left this zone, there's no point in bringing them to this zone, right? The third zone is that underground, like, yo, you're gonna be depressed when I tell you some of this shit, because some of this shit is real. It's real, right? Like, you know what? Fuck it, I'll bring it up. America had this thing, and this is what happened with cyber attacks. This is the reason why Russia hacked American like voting systems and like their secrets defense satellites and all that shit. You go, Russia just America played it off like Russia just attacked us, guys. Russia just, but America had a fucking thing. It was like it was called something, but they had a dormant fucking code lying around. And this code, I don't even know. It's so hard to explain what happened. Like lying around in like people's vaulted emails or some shit, and you had to open it up. But it was a code that essentially like just turned off your Iran's nuclear codes or programs or whatever. It just fucked up their entire system. It slowly degraded it so that when they went to go try to use missiles, they couldn't use missiles. But they didn't even know. They just knew that they couldn't access their shit. It's like Operation, I can't remember, some sort of American term, but they call it like Stuxnet or something like that. So something, but the thing is, the code was one of they released it with like a timed thing. So like after like 2 years, because they likened it to like bombs, right? They like once the war is over, you don't want a bunch of landmines in the fields where like children can just fucking get blown up. So they didn't want these dormant codes that once activated will just fuck up your entire computer system just sitting there, because anyone can grab that and use it. So they had that, but then people found out because they had like in the code they had some sort of like signature. So like people were like, okay, it's America. Like Iran found out, and it was like, this is America. And then the Russians were like, wait a minute, let me see that code. This is a crazy code. It's like a built-in off switch, but it's also like it probably fucked with them to the point where they're like, well, we could have that, like it's like an off switch until it's activated, right? It's the you could flip the code around. So they had this thing sitting in American nuclear bases, and like people, once they did like checks, they're like, dude, there's this like bot thing on our computer that like has access to all the information. It has access to everything. It shut us out of it, and we can't do anything. Our shit's bricks. All of this fucking shit. It turned our shit into bricks. And that was like a big thing that they never really talked about, especially like because it's, I guess, the military, they kept it secret. But I'm reading about it in The Perfect Weapon by what's his name? David E. Sanger. That's his name. It's interesting, man. It's interesting to find out that America is the one that started this entire, like, started these weird hacks, like for country on country hacks. Like that's what, at least that's what I guess Russia wants us to believe. But I think like there was no like, especially with the president, usually the world follows what America does. And if America bombs, nuclear bombs Japan, and right, like it's like I'm surprised that no bombs have ever popped off nuclear. They're in all of history that we heard of. It's very strange. And we're in that state where it's all cyber attacks, it's all drones. We're essentially living in Spider-Man's fucking like Mysterion or whatever the fuck that. It's all drones, and it's like there's a big drone battle, and it's all fake. And when you look online, I don't believe that Russia and fucking Ukraine are still fighting. What's going on? Are they still sending troops? There's still things popping off? No, I don't think, man. You don't, and maybe it's still going on. You just don't hear about it. Maybe some shit pops off, but a lot of this stuff is just cybernetics, cyber shit. We're gonna build robots to fight robots, right? Then there's gonna be Terminators and robots that be turned to robots that find out a way to fucking go back in time, and then fucking save John Connor. I don't know. It's just all a fucking. It's all a fugazi. Go outside, touch grass, enjoy your life, do what you feel, man, because I've had it with these goddamn fucking clankers.